All right, let's take a look at how to score an individual tournament. Here we have the login page for Matchmaker DSWeb, and again, this is available on the coaches page of the JP Chaos website. Just click on either icon that says Enter Roster Area or Enter Stats Area to get here. I'm going to log in using our sample team here so you can kind of follow along, and if you would like to play with the sample team, you can do so too. It's set up for anybody to use. So choose state, Minnesota, age, high school. The school name is sample and the password is also sample. And that'll get you into the main scorebook library. Now you can see here in the library we've already set up an A squad scorebook, a B squad scorebook, and a C squad scorebook for that sample team for the year 2012-2013. Let's go into the A squad scorebook, and we're going to score a tournament. Now I've already created a dual meet here that's against the Lincoln Jaguars. You can see that the sample team lost 9-8. We just did a few matches in there, and then I created a tournament called the Ed Melmack Memorial, and you create events over here on the side, and there's a video on the Mr. P Teaches channel describing how to create events, both dual meets and tournaments. So I'm going to click on the Ed Melmack Memorial here, tournament. It's an individual tournament, and click Open Event. And that takes me to the main scoring page here. In the middle of the page where you see this gray box, that's where the scoring is going to take place, mat side. Down here in the list box here will be a list of all the matches in the tournament. So all I'm going to do is click Add Match. And you can see now the gray box disappeared, and we have almost like a bout sheet here in the middle of the page. Our wrestler, I'm just going to say our wrestler is Leaner Jones. The weight class is, say, 113. And then his opponent, we'll say, is Ed Smith. And his school, now there's going to be, might not be any schools in here, there might be a bunch. If there's no school listed that you want, you're going to choose Other, and that'll give you a edit field here that you can type the school name in. So let's say it's Ed Smith from Lincoln. Also, let's say that the referee decides to switch the red and green colors, so our wrestler is now red. Just click this box right here that says switch red and green, and you'll notice our box turned red and the opponent's box turned green. And that's just to kind of help you keep things straight as the referee's throwing around 2-point takedowns and 3-point near falls, etc. So the match starts, and let's say that our wrestler, Leaner, gets a takedown. You just click on the T2 button here and click in period 1. You'll notice that all of a sudden an asterisk shows up in front of that. That designates our wrestler, Leaner Jones, as the first person to score points. And we all know at the end in the overtimes, that becomes an important statistic to look at. So Matchmaker automatically will designate who scores first. Let's say Ed Smith gets an escape, then just click Escape, click in period 1, and it puts the symbol in there. You can also just type the scoring symbols in if you want. Either way works fine. Matchmaker reads those values, and you'll notice it updates the match score automatically here as we go. So let's say the match continues. The first period ends and Leaner's ahead 2-1. Referee flips his disc and it comes up green, so it's Ed Smith's choice. And let's say he defers. You just choose that down there. That puts the choice on Leaner, and Leaner decides he's going to take bottom. Ref blows a whistle, and let's say Leaner gets a reversal. Just click R2, click in the appropriate period, and that scoring symbol will show up. And let's say he turns, the other guy gets a 2-point near fall, and that's the end of the period. Now it becomes Green's choice because he deferred in the second period here, and let's say he chooses top and maybe scores a 3-point near fall, has the guy in his back but can't pin him. You'll notice Matchmaker updates the match scores as time goes by here. If there is a fall or an early ending to the match by fall or tech fall or default disqualification or forfeit, you're going to be clicking in one of these check boxes over here on the right, and notice it says won by. So if the green wrestler won by fall, you would click in this box right here. If the red wrestler won by fall, you would be clicking here. I've had several people in the past get this mixed up and click in the box of the guy who got pinned, and it ends up giving a win to the wrong guy. So make sure you click in the appropriate box here. Notice there's no winning by tech fall. Matchmaker will detect that automatically just by looking at the score here. So you don't need to worry about clicking in a box if there's a tech fall. If you do want to put a fall time in here for a true pin, you can do so. You can also put in a score for a technical fall if you'd like. But let's say the match ends here with Leonard Jones here in red winning 6-4. All you have to do when the match is final and you need to go on to the next match is you just click Save Match Data, and you'll notice now down here in this list box we've got our first match with Leonard Jones and Ed Smith. You can go back and edit this anytime, so either double click on it and you can see it shows up there and all the scoring symbols are there. You can edit them, you can delete them, change them, whatever you need to do. Click Resave again and we can start another match. So let's say our next match is at, well, let's choose a wrestler here. So let's say it's Ed Melmack, and he's wrestling at 106 against Joe Blow from, let's say, Blaine this time. And again, we're ready to start scoring the match. Now, one thing you're going to run into when scoring on individual tournaments is you're going to have 2 or even 3, maybe even 4 guys going at the same time sometimes in these super tournaments. So obviously you can't have one person scoring all 4 matches at once. You really have 2 choices. Choice A, and this is the one that we've probably used the most in the past, is just give a paper scorebook page to each of the managers and send them to various mats and have them score by hand on paper, and then come back to the computer later when they have time and enter the match. So that's choice A. Choice B is, this is actually kind of cool. You could give each manager a computer or an iPad and send them to their mats. You could actually have everybody logged into your account at the same time and scoring different matches, and Matchmaker will be able to keep all that straight. So that's a couple options, and it just depends on, obviously how much money you've got and how much technology you've got. So either option will work fine. So let's get back to scoring here. Let's say Joe Blow pins Ed Melmack right away. So he gets a takedown. And then he wins by fall in the first period. I'll go over here. Joe is the one that won the match. So I'm going to click here on won by fall. And let's say he pinned him in 1:08 seconds. That's all you've got to do. Click Save Match Data, and you're ready for your next match. You can add matches, delete matches, edit them, like I said, so on and so forth. You'll notice here there's no team scores kept because in individual tournaments it's just too hard for managers to understand. Quarterfinal matches are worth 2 points advancement, and consolation matches are worth 1, but if you pin you only get 2 points. The scoring's a lot different for an individual tournament, so we don't even bother with team points for individual tournaments. If you ever have to add or change your roster, and this is your own roster, just click on this button here. That'll take you to the roster page, and you can edit your rosters, etc. Click previous page here, and that'll take you back to that scoring page. So that's how you score tournaments. Very simple, very straightforward, and like I said, you could even have multiple people logged into your account at the same time at a big tournament and scoring simultaneously, and Matchmaker will handle that just fine. So please visit my channel on YouTube, where you can view all my videos on how to use Matchmaker products. The channel name is Mr. P Teaches.